From the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, it's the Vikings and the Falcons. Down to the sidelines we go now with Pam Oliver.
Hey, Kevin, some injuries will keep some key players out of this ball game today. The Vikings will have to contend with Julio Jones without the services of their best safety, Harrison Smith. Smith is dealing with a knee injury and is out. Meantime, for the Falcons, their number 2 wide receiver and leading rusher, Devontae Freeman, he is out dealing with the effects of last week's concussion. Meantime, the Falcons had to sign a kicker this week. Main starter Matt Ryan, he suffered a quad injury in practice and is out. Shane Graham was brought in. Back to you.
Those are big storylines. Pam, great to have you back. Bosher, though, their punter is their kickoff guy, so we won't see Graham till a field goal attempt. And Bosher good at that, kicking it out of the end zone. So the Falcons won the toss and deferred. And that means we will get to see the Vikings on offense behind their young quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, who made his first career start against these Falcons last year.
And Bridgewater, Kevin, he's been beat up the last couple of weeks. 10 sacks in the last 2 weeks, countless other hits. This team is built to run the football and play with the lead. When they get behind and have to rely on this offensive line, it's trouble.
Yeah, they like to run for sure. I mean, when you talk about their play selection, 47% of the time they like to run, 6th most in the league. And why not when you have the best running back in the league, right, in Adrian Peterson. There we go, strong formation, and they'll give it to Peterson right up the middle in a big hole. And a first down on the first play for Adrian Peterson. What a start.
Well, why do you run it 47% of the time? Because, as you said, you've got the best running back in football in Adrian Peterson, and it's incredible to watch. Big hole because they're so worried, Trufant is, of his ability to bounce the ball, but Adrian sees him sitting outside, hits the hole hard. No one does it better than Adrian Peterson.
He leads the NFL in rushing coming into this game, over 1,000 yards. Go to him again. There's that play. He gets smacked. What a play that was by Paul Soliai.
And Soliai is a big reason that this Atlanta Falcons defense is #1 in the NFL in rush defense. He's a stout guy in the middle. This year has expanded that to going ahead and being stout and then finishing with plays like that. Great play by Soliai.
I think one thing people tuning into this game might not know, the Falcons have the #1 rush defense in the NFL. That's how good they've been, allowing just over 87 yards a game. So it's a fun matchup today. 2nd and 11. Bridgewater gets rid of it, and he's got a completion to Stephon Diggs, who's turned into a star at wide receiver. What are the storylines for this Vikings team at 7-3? They are in first place. AP all day. That's Adrian Peterson. Why not stop the sacks? John talked about it. In their 3 losses, Bridgewater's been dropped 18 times. And 8 is enough. What does that mean? This team is the least penalized team in the NFL. They had 8 penalties, 110 yards last week. It's a big reason why they lost.
They took the bait. Green Bay came out, was feisty with them, and they responded. They got caught. Mike Zimmer said, we got to get back to who we are.
On 3rd down blitz, Bridgewater to Diggs, and Diggs is going to be short. Great play by Desmond Trufant on the coverage, and Minnesota will have to punt it away.
That's what you see from this Atlanta Falcons defense. Guys flying all over the field. Desmond Trufant, one of their better players at the cornerback position, with a really nice stop short of the line to gain for Diggs.
Well, the Vikings are excellent in this department. They do not allow big punt returns. And even without Devin Hester, the Falcons have been good with Weems back there. Hester, by the way, hoping to come back next week off IR. Punt by Locke. Weems on the run. And gets it across the 25, and that's where Atlanta will take over on offense for the first time. Falcons defense does the job behind Trufant. Now it's Matt Ryan.
This game is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide.
First and 10 Falcons, 7-27.
Matt Ryan in this Falcons offense, he's 4th in the NFL in passing yards, and coming in, they are 4th overall in offense, but they've been slumping a little of late. So here they start from their own 27-yard line. They're going to give it to Tevin Coleman. Good burst up the middle for Coleman. And a good start without Devontae Freeman today, as Pam told you, the big injury. Storylines for this Falcons team. Well, Yeah, well, they've been a little of everything under Dan Quinn in his first year. He's done a nice job taking over for Mike Smith. They were 5-0 to start, just 1-4 since. All about the ball. That's his mantra. Turnover ratio +5 in wins, -6 in losses. And then Coleman, the guy we just saw Kenny contribute. Devontae Freeman came in as one of the most dynamic players in the league. So now it's on Coleman with Freeman still out with a concussion. And on second down, he gets a yard. So a third down and short is coming up.
And they're very confident in Tevin Coleman's ability. We had him week 2, and he was actually the starter.
Yeah.
And so they're very comfortable with both backs. But I can tell you, Devontae Freeman, I think he showed this league how special he is. Aside from Julio Jones, their top weapon, they will miss Devontae Freeman.
You want to talk about some weapons in this game, or in this case, Freeman out. But for most yards from scrimmage, it's Julio, it's Devontae, and it's Adrian Peterson. Third and short. Coleman right up the middle. They run it 3 times, and he's going to be shy of the first down. We'll see where the spot is, but probably about a yard short.
Well, fantastic job by the interior of that Minnesota defense, led by Linval Joseph. Watch them inside. Nothing there for Tevin Coleman. Sharif Floyd, number 73. Does a great job of making that play. They're tough to move inside, and they force Atlanta to punt.
Dan Quinn may have thought about it for a moment, but they will punt here after their first series comes up short. Marcus Sherrills, who has big-time ability on this punt return with 3 scores, and Matt Bosher, who can really give it a boost. So special teams in this game are good, with the exception of the Falcons missing their kicker. We'll see how that develops. Their field goal kicker. Sherrills room to run if he wants it. Up close in a hurry. Robinson Threezy with the special teams tackle. And so, in a scoreless game, we'll see Adrian Peterson, AP all day, on the field one more time when we come back to Atlanta.
Today's game is sponsored by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home.
Back to Atlanta. Scoreless first quarter, second possession by the Vikings. And here's Peterson on the stretch right. And he is met by Bierman after a short game. And that kept going past the whistle, so maybe a little feistiness here today.
Well, you know, I can tell you, if you're Atlanta, you watch Green Bay get to them with the feistiness. Mike Zimmer said about that, and he's letting the officials know. People are trying to do that to the Vikings because the Packers got under their skin last week.
In terms of what?
In terms of feistiness, giving Adrian Peterson a little extra at the end of plays. Green Bay was kneeing them under piles. In Minnesota, they fell for the bait. They are the ones that got caught with penalties.
There you go. That's the penalties. Second down, they'll throw it. Set up the screen to Peterson. Gets a good block. And Peterson electric as always out across the 40 to the 43. So a gain of 18 and a nice block that play by Fusco.
And a perfect call by Norv Turner. He's a guy who loves to run the football, but then you invite the pass rush on second and long. And Adrian Peterson so fast, he just needs a little bit of a hole, and then that speed takes over. Fusco, the left guard, out top, out in front, and Adrian Peterson with big yards on the screen.
I said block. It was more like a fall, but he got the job done, John. That's the bottom line. On a first down, it's Peterson again. Jump cut to the middle. And he's going to pick up 3 on first down. Paul Worlow with the hit. So, we look at Teddy Bridgewater in his second year, John. You said in the open that for the Vikings to go deep into the playoffs and to really be a threat, he's got to do more. How so?
Well, I just think, you know, there's this idea of playing to win. We're seeing it out in Arizona with Bruce Arians. He doesn't play scared. He plays to win. Teddy Bridgewater, Mike Zimmer says by nature he's a pleaser. Well, all your life as a quarterback, you hear you got to protect the football. To win in this league, though, you got to play to win. That sometimes means forcing the ball in tight windows.
Fake the run. Bridgewater all kinds of time. They're slinging out in the flat, and that's the fullback Zach Line, who's got enough for a Minnesota first down.
I think one thing I like, Teddy Bridgewater, one reason he's taken a lot of sacks other than his offensive line struggling, he holds the ball longer than anybody in this league. And so early on, you're seeing Norv Turner try to address that with quick throws. There, one wasn't there, quick to the flat. That's a nice progression, and that's nice for Teddy Bridgewater.
Fake on first down. Time again. They get rid of it quickly again. And again a completion. This time it's a tight end, Kyle Rudolph. We have our first game break of the day. Let's say hi to Mike Hill.
Hey, fellas, Bengals trying to end a two-game slide. This helps Andy Dalton to a wide-open A.J. Green. How's he get that wide open? 7-0 Bengals right now in the first against the Rams. Kevin, John, back to you.
Yeah, they are probably angry after losing the last couple. Are those Bengals?
And Kevin, that last throw, Bridgewater to Kyle Rudolph, he was covered, but Kyle Rudolph's a big stud. You can throw it to him with that big body. You can trust him.
Peterson up the middle. And a surge forward for a couple, but Trufant came off the edge, the cornerback, to make that tackle. Falcons defense, they rotate like a line change in hockey.
You're right, man. I'm telling you, when you start studying, you got to be on your P's and Q's, because everybody on these boards that we have is going to play. It's something Dan Quinn believes in. He's still trying to find who his guys are, but he's going to take what you do well. He's going to create a role for you.
Seventh play of this drive. Pressure. Bridgewater on the run, looking to get rid of it and just throws it away. Adrian Claiborne had the pressure there. One thing is for sure about these two teams. Whoever wins today will eclipse their win mark already from last year. And I think we both agree, John, that both coaches, Dan Quinn for Atlanta and also Mike Zimmer from Minnesota, they've both done a wonderful job.
I think they've been awesome. I mean, I think Dan Quinn is... This team's come back to reality. No one thought that this was going to be a team contending for a playoff spot this year. They've been great. Minnesota is right there on top of the NFC North.
Matt Asiata in on third down in the backfield. They drop into coverage. Bridgewater, great throw, and Diggs with the catch and the moves. Stephon Diggs makes the catch down to the 16. It's a gain of 16. And John, we had his first game in Denver. The first time he was active, he's turning into a star.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater tried to tell us he's outside number 14, working against the rookie Jalen Collins. It's a perfectly thrown football. But one thing you'll notice about Stephon Diggs, a masterful route runner in his rookie year.
This flag after the play, at least it came out after the play. So,
yeah,
Cleet Blakeman, the referee, and his crew is excellent. Discussing maybe a celebration.
Yeah, he spun the ball right in the face of the defender, and that's something you cannot do.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting on the offense, number 14. The play resulted in a first down. We'll take it 15 yards from there. It'll be 1st and 10, Minnesota.
That's something the league, a point of emphasis from 2 years ago. Players were doing that, and they said when a player's around, you cannot do that. And Stephon Diggs, a rookie, learning some of those lessons. Not listening to you, Kevin. You said 8's enough, and here we are.
That's a 15-yard version. So, yeah, they've got a first down, but essentially it erases the catch. So they're backed up to the 31 now after the penalty on a 1st and 10. Peterson, nowhere. Falcons' #1 run defense playing tough. We had the chance to talk to Stephon Diggs yesterday, and he was impressive. He was full of life. He was energetic, and I like what he said when you asked him about his approach, right?
Preparation. He said, look, I try to win it every day. Yep. Everything I'm doing, I'm trying to win. You're right. He was a nice young man. He has great energy about him, and he's a professional. He attacks his job and attacks it well.
You see that since he got into the game week 4 in Denver, he's got the most big plays in the league. Think about that for a second. It's a 2nd down and 9. 4-man pressure. Flushes Bridgewater. Now comes back over the middle to Rudolph. Breaks the tackle. Rudolph has a first down. Kyle Rudolph had a monster game last week, and he picks up 13 to move the chains.
Well, we talked to him on the field, and Kyle, he's been a little frustrated this year because they run it so much, and he knows he can catch the ball. You talked about the success he had last week. A great security blanket for Teddy Bridgewater, a huge target in the middle of the field who has the athleticism to make some things happen after the catch.
It's the 11th play of this drive now for Minnesota. throw it again. This time a lot of time, but now some pressure. Bridgewater just going to run. You know, he hasn't, I mean, that's for a short game. He's going to pick up, what, 2, but all of a sudden he's starting to use running as a weapon a little bit the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you know, Norv Turner and this coaching staff, they've been a little surprised. They said, look, we saw him in college, knew he had some athleticism. We didn't know he had this much. And you really get the feeling they like it. And as Teddy said, it's something I have in my back pocket. I don't want to rely on it too much because I can tell you this, unless you're Cam Newton and you're bigger than the guys tackling you, you're not going to last long running around in this league at the quarterback position.
Now, to be fair, he has been running for his life the last couple of weeks, so that also helps. 2nd and 9. Gets rid of it and a drop. That could have been 6, but Peterson just dropped it.
Adrian Peterson, you know, I played against him in his rookie year, and the scouting report was obviously a great runner, not a natural catcher of the football. He's worked very hard at it, but you can see still to this day, 9 years into the league, he fights it catching it. It's not a natural thing for him, and right there just takes his eye off it, eager to run.
Third down. Bridgewater fires near the goal line, tipped away, and now we get flags. It was Desmond Trufant on the coverage, and those flags may be on him.
That's a great example, Kevin, what I'm talking about. Look at the tight coverage by Desmond Trufant. Not much of a window there. Tight coverage. Go ahead, throw the football.
Defense, number 21. The ball in place to the spot of the foul. 1st and goal, Minnesota.
And Norv Turner, Kevin, he talked to us. He said, you know, it's about teaching Teddy when you have to get it into tight windows. Red zone is one of those areas. There's less square footage. The field is constricted because of where you are on the field. There you got to do it. But how do you do it? You do it by throwing on time. When you do that, good things happen.
That receiver, by the way, was Mike Wallace. That's where the pass was intended. So, 1st and goal, as they go jumbo package, they bring in Austin Shepard as an extra lineman, number 74. Peterson dancing, heading to the end zone, touchdown. Great drive, 13 plays by Minnesota.
Real impressive drive. Concluded by a nice surge. Great block by Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, creating a little seam, and Adrian's so strong, hard to stop him. But Kevin, on that drive, they overcame the personal foul, the celebration taunting penalty. They also overcame a big missed catch by Adrian Peterson. So very nice drive for the Minnesota Vikings.
This extra point now is no gimme. Blair Walsh has missed 3, ties for the league high. But that one is no problem. So, a 13-play, 78-yard drive, and Adrian Peterson is fired up. A 1-yard touchdown run for him, and it's 7-0 Minnesota.
Today's game is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. By Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box. Make any night a holiday. And by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today.
Adrian Peterson punches it in from 1 yard out, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. 98th of his career. That's a lot of scores as he's catching up on Chris Carter. By the way, Teddy Bridgewater on that drive was great. 5 of 7, 67 yards. Weems will watch the kickoff go out of the end zone, and so Atlanta will take over. Down 7-0, and they've got to face his 3rd-ranked Minnesota defense. 7-zip Vikes in the first. Now that's a great shot. Got the eye black ready to go. Enjoying the game here in Atlanta. 7-0 Vikings. And now the Falcons have it for the 2nd time. The pitch it to Coleman. And he gets around the edge. Tevin Coleman, one man apiece. And now he fumbles the football. And Minnesota has recovered. Exum picks it up. That's the third time that Coleman has fumbled in these last couple games. It's been a factor, and after a big run, he turns it over. Anthony Barr punched it away.
Well, first of all, a tremendous block by Patrick DeMarco, the fullback, on Terrence Newman. That creates the seam, and it looks like he's out the door. But Anthony Barr right there shows what hustle, effort, and speed can do for you. A tremendous play going after the ball. Tevin Coleman thinks he's scoring. Instead, Anthony Barr knocks it off, and it's Teddy Bridgewater's ball once again for the Minnesota Vikings.
It was a 45-yard run, and with Coleman, again, he's playing with the injury to Devontae Freeman. John, consider this. His last 30 carries, he's fumbled 3 times now. It's now a full-fledged problem. So a promising run, and then the turnover. And that's what's been dogging Atlanta, is the turnovers in this 1-4 streak they're on. So here's Peterson. And he gets through the right side, and a good run, and he's going to pick up 10.
You know what's incredible to me, Kevin? You talked about him being the leading rusher, but in your 9th year in the league, when you're leading the league in 10-plus rushes, that means you still have that explosion. He hasn't lost a thing. The year off last year may have helped his legs, in fact, because he looks fresh, he looks spry, he looks strong, everything that Adrian Peterson always has been. And to me, he looks as good as he's ever been.
From the 31, Peterson cut off, tries the reverse, and it is a nice job just to pick up a couple yards. Well, when you look at Adrian Peterson's numbers, they are, well, they're pretty darn ridiculous. He's 30 years old. You look where he ranks among the running backs this year. John, you hit it, 10-plus runs. The only negative in there is the fumbles. He's lost 6 of them, or excuse me, he's fumbled 6 times. They've all been at home. 2 of them have been lost.
And a lot of that is because he refuses to go down. Yeah. It's the 3rd and 4th guys that come in there. Adrian Peterson works on it. He knows he can't have it, but so much of it is because of the effort.
Blitz. They get rid of it to Rhett Ellison, and the tight end screen works like a charm into Falcon territory. It's still going. Rhett Ellison came in with only 8 catches. He broke through the tackle of Robert Alford for a gain of 23.
And Norv Turner has been so good for so many years. Going to come on the blitz. Nothing beats blitzes like screens. Norv Turner senses the blitz coming, calls the tight end screen to Rhett Ellison, one of the more underrated players on this Minnesota offense, and Ellison takes it for big yards.
Jerick McKinnon in the game, running back to give Peterson a breather. Minnesota's offense is clicking right now. It's Mike Wallace in motion, number 11. Here's McKinnon, his first carry. And he's running hard, is McKinnon. He's going to pick up 9 on first down.
We talked about the offensive line for Minnesota really struggling last week versus the Green Bay Packers. No better way to get back on the horse than just to start going at people and run blocking. That's what offensive linemen love. It takes the pressure off of them, whether it's Adrian Peterson or McKinnon. These guys want to do that, and they're doing a nice job of countering that with quick throws, screens, things to get the ball out of Teddy Bridgewater's hand. Norv Turner doing a fantastic job helping this offensive line out.
11 rushes, 10 passes so far. They'll run it again. McKinnon again, and another big run. He's got a first down, and he's inside the 25. He's going to pick up 8 yards on that, and first down for Minnesota.
And you look at Berger, the center. He's going to make the big block on Grady Jarrett. Seal him. The fullback, Zach Klein going right ahead, and they are definitely winning the line of scrimmage. We talked what's going to give the number 1 rusher in the league against the number 1 rush defense. Right now, the Minnesota Vikings are dominating that matchup.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Vikings up, and they are on the drive for more. They got the big turnover right there, and they're trying to convert. 7-0 Vikings after 1 from Atlanta. 11 first downs in that first quarter for Minnesota, and after the Coleman fumble, remember, he had a 46-yard run. Now Minnesota on the drive again, John, as we start the second quarter. They lead Atlanta 7-0.
51.
12 running plays, averaging 4.4 per rush. McKinnon stays at the game at tailback, though. He's had a couple good runs here. Give it to him again. And that time Hageman takes him down. He's going to gain 3.
Yeah, it's interesting, Kevin. When we were talking to Norv Turner during our meetings, he said, look, this team's tough to get chunks on. We're going to have those 10, 12, 14 play drives. That's exactly what they're doing. They're controlling the clock. They're winning the line of scrimmage. They're being smart with the ball in Teddy Bridgewater's hands, protecting an offensive line that struggles to pass block. It's been beautiful execution by this Vikings offense thus far.
Bridgewater back to throw, going end zone, intercepted. He intercepted one last week, and he's got another one. It's the free safety Ricardo Allen, his 3rd pick of the year. He was looking for the tight end Rudolph, but Allen says, Falcons football, down 7.
Well, the play is sluggo seam. You're going to see Teddy Bridgewater try to get the free safety, Ricardo Allen, to be manipulated on the pump to the left to Charles Johnson. He never went for the bait. At that point, Teddy Bridgewater can't go to Kyle Rudolph. That's a forced ball.
So the Falcons, after the Coleman fumble, get it back, but now they move. They'll move it back 5 yards.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's a really nice job by Ricardo Allen of not taking the bait. He doesn't go for the pump. He reads the eyes of Teddy Bridgewater. That's excellent free safety play on a play that can be very tough at that position.
So now 1st and 15. Fake to Coleman. Ryan a lot of time, but decides to check it down. Roddy White nowhere to go. He's actually going to lose a yard. Anthony Barr with the tackle. He's actually been playing with a broken hand, and it seems like he's getting back to his normal self.
Yeah, he's a big presence, but you look at the attention that Julio Jones garners. There's 2 on him. There's a 3rd one lurking in the area. That's who Matt Ryan wanted, and he came off late. This offense is so focused on getting Julio Jones the ball. I think that's sometimes what Matt Ryan struggles with, is that he's the number 1 read 9 to 10 times.
Second down, 4-man rush. Ryan spins away from pressure, guns it near side. He's got a completion. It's Justin Hardy, the rookie, who is starting to come on the last few games. Matt Ryan said he's got exceptionally strong hands, and he grabs it for 11.
Yeah, and Matt Ryan really likes him. They need someone to emerge. No more Tony Gonzalez. Roddy White's not as effective as he once was. Matt Ryan trusts this kid. He said he gets better each and every week, becoming a trusted target for Matt Ryan.
He was inactive the first 7 games, but he's starting to play his 8th catch of the year. Now a 3rd and a makeable 5. 4-man rush. Ryan protected, throws, and he's got a completion. It's Tammy, the tight end, and that'll move the sticks. A first down for the Falcons and a pickup of 12.
Well, Jacob Tammy's one of these guys. Now, I played against Jacob, and you look at him, you say he's not too fast. I can cover this guy, but he always seems to get open. He's got a great feel for the soft spot and zones. Quarterbacks love throwing to him. Peyton Manning did, and now Matt Ryan does.
Well, there's a man down for Minnesota. It's Andrew Sendejo, their safety. Considering Harrison Smith is already out, problematic. We'll take a break.
Today's game is sponsored by Citizen Echo Drive, powered by Light. It never needs a battery. By Sprint, switch today and save. And by Miller Lite, back in its original bottle, but not for long. It's Miller time.
So Sendejo, the safety, walked off under his own power. So Robert Blanton, number 36, comes in. 2 backup safeties on the field for Minnesota. And Matt Ryan's going to throw it for Jones. Incomplete. Trying to get Julio Jones involved, and he had 75 Vikings around him.
Well, it looked like someone erred on the route because Toilolo and Julio Jones standing right next to each other. And Xavier Rhodes all over. Toilolo can't get off the ball. He's got to do a better job releasing to give Julio the necessary space. Toilolo just get out of the way and let the man work.
See, they're working on Sendejo's knee. So Harrison Smith, who's been playing like a Pro Bowler this year, did not make the trip, and now Robert Blanton in as well. So Blanton and Exum, the safeties. Pitch out, Coleman. Good run for Tevin Coleman, and then gets drilled by Exum.
You know, Kevin, it's a big deal not having Harrison Smith because he's one of those safeties, and that's what makes a great safety is he can do a little bit of everything, and he does it all very well. He's a tremendous blitzer. He's a tremendous in coverage, and he's very good in run support. And now when Sendejo's out, you're down to your third and fourth safeties starting for you. That's a tough deal.
And his just sheer speed, right, with Smith? So they missed that. 3rd down and 2. It's blocked up. There's Julio Jones. First catch of the game, and that's a first down.
One thing that Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, does a tremendous job of moving Julio Jones all over the field. People will often say, why aren't they double and tripling him? Well, it's hard because he plays every possible receiver position on this field. He'd be on the left side, in the slot, on the right side as the number 3 receiver. He's everywhere on the field. Hard to get a beat on where he's at.
Here, he's guarded by Xavier Rhodes, bottom of your screen, at least initially. Still running. And Coleman has nowhere to go. Brian Robinson was there first. This guy, it's been a long-time Viking. Robinson. His 137th game today for Robinson. Meanwhile, Sendejo looks like he's going to be headed to the locker room to check out that knee. There's Robinson. Taken out of Texas, 4th round in 07. 9th year in Minnesota. On 2nd down, pressure from Floyd. Ryan lets it fly. There's Jones. What a man. The strength with the catch and then lunges forward. It should be enough for a first down depending on the spot.
Kevin, you hit it. That was good coverage, but just the strength of the hands. That's plucking the football. Look at Xavier Rhodes' hands right there. He pulls at his arms, but Julio Jones so strong, concentrates so well. It's what makes this guy almost undefensible because he's got so much talent, with so much strength, with so much will. He's got it all. That's what makes him the best in the league right now.
Ryan over the middle. Coleman makes the catch, but tripped up immediately by Kendricks, the middle linebacker, the rookie from UCLA. And we get a flag, too. So this one may be coming back.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's Tom Johnson right here. Going to get the hands in the face of Chris Chester. There is that hand. Good call by the umpire, although Tom Johnson doesn't agree with it.
So the Falcons, after the interception by Ricardo Allen, have something going. 10th play of the drive coming right here on the 1st and 10. And Coleman dragged down after a short game. Let's get a game break and say hi to Kurt Menefee.
Hello, Kevin. Winners of 3 straight. Houston's off to a hot start against New Orleans. Cecil Shorts takes this in from 3 yards out. Texans scoring their first 2 possessions of the game and already lead 14-0. So much for that new defensive coordinator there in New Orleans, huh, Kevin, John, Pam?
Yeah, Kurt, I don't think the Dennis Allen parade has started just yet in New Orleans. But the Texans, John, in their 3-game win streak, they've allowed 29 total points. They're playing some deep. Second and 8. Pressure up the middle. Ryan's in trouble. Backpedals and just throws it away. He got hit at the end of that play, but no flag. Oh, there is a flag now. Didn't see it. Okay.
Looks like it can be a hold on the defense.
prior to the pass, holding defense number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Captain Munnerlyn, the nickelback for this team.
That penalty bug has been biting them the last couple weeks. He's working the slot against Nick Williams. Nick Williams, one of those quick guys, a quick tug of the jersey, but that's enough. A good call by the back judge.
Yeah, that's, I think, a good no call as Griffin held up. But they get the penalty in the secondary, and so another first down for the Falcons. They'll run it to Coleman. And Coleman inside the 25. Picks up 3 on first down. Someone lost a shoe. Tom Johnson needs a little help there. That's hard with the glove to put the high top on.
Very hard. You got to take the glove off. I've been there. I've done that. Glove's got to come. Oh, he pulls it off with the glove on.
No shoehorn, John?
They don't have those on the field, unfortunately. You see them running outside so much, the Atlanta Falcons. That guy right there, Linval Joseph, who's on the sidelines, he's a big part. Hard to move in the middle. Having a Pro Bowl year for the Minnesota Vikings.
Ryan looking far side as a man wide open, and he's got a completion. There's that rookie Hardy again. This kid was a walk-on at East Carolina initially. And last year he had 14, almost 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns there.
And it's important that he emerges because, like I said, it's been so Julio Jones-centric, so Devontae Freeman-centric, and they're great players, but you have to be able to spread the football because people are going to try to take them away.
Another first down and a long drive. Here's Teron Ward. He gets the carry stretching to the outside inside the 10. So Ward getting involved. He's another rookie, and we get a flag, I believe, as well. Far side of the field. So let's see what happened here. Teron Ward, who had that carry, actually an undrafted player from Oregon State. He'll be counted on today with Freeman hurt. His brother is Broncos safety TJ Ward. So he's got some football genes in the family. There's Freeman. He was out working out today, John, and you know, with that, you got to be so careful with the concussion protocol, but the way he was working out today, you would assume maybe next week.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 23, the kicking a defender. It'll be second down from the end of the run. We'll go back 15 yards. It brings up second down.
It had to be 33 because 23 is Robert Alford, who plays defense. There's Teron Ward right there. Got the foot up in the throat of Kendricks, and then just a little shove, enough for the officials to call that personal foul.
No need to do it. It's little, but no need to do it, and they're going to call it. So it's second and 20 after that penalty. Ryan near side. There's Williams, makes the catch, shoved out of bounds inside the 15. So they get it back inside the original line of scrimmage.
But Kevin, the tough thing and why it's such a critical error for Teron Ward, what did Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan, you can't be in third and long against this Minnesota Vikings team. They have a blitz package. We call it the double A. 2 linebackers right in the guard center gap. It's very tough because they do so much out of it. It typically comes on third down. Third and long, it's difficult because they force you to throw hot. There's those 2 linebackers in the double A gaps. Anthony Barr, such a big presence. Kendricks. And what they're going to do off it, nobody knows. They both come here.
Pressure, and it's incomplete. Looking for Ward. But Terrence Newman was on the coverage and exactly as you diagrammed.
Well, that's what Kyle Shanahan said. Look, if you're in 3rd and 4, say you hit that hot, first down. 3rd and long, even if you hit the hot, you're kicking a field goal. You got to stay out of the 3rd and longs, and a selfish penalty put them in the 3rd and long.
So that penalty was huge on Ward. So now Falcons' new kicker, it's the veteran Shane Graham. This is actually the 10th team he's kicked for, and this has been some week for him. But I mean, you talk about tough with emotion. His father Thomas passed away on Tuesday. Wednesday, he worked out for the Falcons when Matt Bryant got hurt in practice. And then here on Sunday, he puts one home. So an emotional week for Shane Graham, but his first kick with his new team is good. And the Falcons are on the board here in the second quarter from Atlanta. Well, this is the penalty on Teron Ward. The Falcons had a great drive going. And that set them back 15 yards. And then team president Rich McKay said, Thomas Dimitrov, the GM on the right, looking down at something more pleasant. Falcons do get on the board with a field goal, but that was a 15-play drive, and that penalty essentially killed it. So 7-3 Vikings, and they'll now have the ball on their own 20 with 6:13 to go in this first half. Minnesota back on the field. So is Adrian Peterson next.
Today's game is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
We welcome you back to Atlanta. 7-3 Vikings over the Falcons. First place Vikings via the Green Bay loss to Chicago on Thanksgiving night. And so they'll get the ball back. Falcons did a great drive, 15 plays, but settled for the field goal after that penalty on Teron Ward. We get a look at Adrian Peterson again, and he runs right into a wall. Well, the Vikings, they're 7-3. How are they there? What do they do to win? We've got some answers for you. Well, first time they've been in first past Thanksgiving since the last time they made the playoffs in 09. Of course, they run the ball a lot when they win, and when they don't run it that well. It sounds pretty simple with Adrian Peterson, the best back in the league. 7 wins, they protect the quarterback, 13 sacks allowed. 3 losses, 18 sacks allowed. And their defense has been really good under Mike Zimmer, who has been a tremendous defensive coach in his time. One more note on Zimmer after the play. Bridgewater on the fake, has a year. Coming near side for Wallace, knocked away. True fight was there. Throw may have been a little late, and it's incomplete.
Kevin, you know, Mike Wallace has struggled to get deep this year. His yards per catch way down. Well, when you're not going deep, they don't respect that speed, and they're all over routes like that.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 23. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That was on the complete other side of the play. That's Robert Alford on Diggs. Let's watch.
It's Alford working against Diggs. He's got jersey. It's not much, but Mike Pereira tells us all the time that they want the officials calling that. So I know sometimes these penalties look innocuous. These referees and officials are just calling what they're being told to.
So a first down. Pitch it to Peterson. Cut back up the middle, and a strong one at that as Peterson out to the 35. That should be good for a Minnesota first down and a gain of 10.
You know, having played against Adrian Peterson, here's the challenge. We've seen him run over people already today, but he's also got this ability to cut like Barry Sanders. When you put all that in a package, you've got Adrian Peterson, and as you said, AP all day and anywhere, anytime, and you don't know when you've got a strong guy, okay, I can deal with that strength. When you got a fast guy, I can deal, but when you've got everything, there's no answers.
Peterson bounces off one, and then Bierman bounces through him and works hard to get about 4 yards. Got a game break. Let's check in again with Kurt.
Well, look out for Washington in the NFC East. Kirk Cousins hooks up with Deshaun Jackson for a 63-yard score against the Giants. If they win this game, Washington and New York will both be 5-6 and tied for first place in the division. Kevin, John, and Pam.
Yeah, Kurt, that's a monster game. The Giants win. They'll have the tiebreaker. They'll be 2 up. And the Giants have won 5 in a row over Washington, so that's big. Into the eyes of Peterson. They'll fake it to him here. Bridgewater, here comes pressure. He's backed up. He throws a duck, and it's going to go out of bounds. A lot of pressure that time from Tyson Jackson.
And Kevin, that's right there, I think, where Teddy Bridgewater can still make steps. He eventually got that ball away, but right here, if it's not there, 1's not there, 2's not there, throw it away. He's lucky to get away from that sack from Tyson Jackson. He has a tendency to hold it too long. It's because he wants to protect the football, but the next step for Teddy Bridgewater is learning sometimes you throw it away and you live to see the next down.
One area of the Falcons defense which has been much improved under Dan Quinn has lacked sacks. Just 12 on the year, 31st in the league. They'd like one here on a 3rd and 6. Bridgewater in trouble, gets away, throws it away. Oh, it's not a sack, but it's close enough, and Bridgewater's hurt. He's been nicked up the last couple weeks. He had a left shoulder, he had a concussion a couple weeks ago. He's getting hit a lot, and he got tripped up that time, and the Vikings will punt.
And you see this good pursuit. Not much there, but enough to hurt Teddy Bridgewater in that left arm. And you're right, Kevin. I mean, you turn it on the film, Teddy Bridgewater has been taking hellacious hits. Some of them brought on by himself, but a lot of hits, and the cumulative effect of that adds up.
Weems backed up inside the 10. Breaks one tackle. And a pretty good return considering. Out to the 15. So Matt Ryan out on the field. Bridgewater dejected after that series, but his Vikes still up 7-3. It's impossible not to cry when you see this. One of those surprises where someone comes home from the military. I mean, look at it. Look at his young boy.
Kevin, you just said it never gets old. They do it across the league, and it's wonderful of the NFL and their teams. They keep doing it, and I'd encourage them to keep, because some people say it gets old. Never.
That's great. 7-3 Vikings, 3:45 to go in the half. Each team with all 3 timeouts. And here's Atlanta now. Fake it to Coleman. Great fake. Ryan near side, and Jones with a good adjustment. Nope, can't make the play. Had it, I thought, initially, but couldn't bring it in, and it's incomplete.
Well, and Blanton and Exum doing a nice job holding up as the safeties. The 3rd and 4th safeties playing. That's behind them, but that's a ball that Julio expects himself to catch. And a good job by Blanton getting that football out.
I have to say, Minnesota's done a nice job on Julio Jones. This is the guy that came in with 89 catches and almost 1,200 yards to lead the league in both categories. I'll show you how they're covering him after this play. 2nd and 10. Run it to Coleman. And Coleman's going to pick up about 3.5. So let's look, John. What are they doing?
Well, it's been a lot of Xavier Rhodes all over Julio Jones, and he came out and let him know, I understand you're Julio Jones, but I'm not backing off. A little help from the safeties, a lot of tight coverage. Xavier Rhodes has done a nice job of being right there. You see the catch by Julio Jones, but again, contested coverage.
On 3rd down, Ryan go on top of the screen, and that's a first down. It's Roddy White, and you hear the cheer. Still a fan favorite here is White in his 11th year.
And I think this is important because he's a guy in his 11th year, and is he what he once was? No. I still think he can play. He's so competitive. I think you have to help him. You have to put him in the slot, put him in motion, but you need a complimentary receiver to Julio Jones, and I think Roddy can help take some of that pressure and that attention that Julio Jones gets off.
So Teron Ward back in the game at running back. First time we've seen him since that penalty. On a first down, fake it to him. Ryan assessing, throwing deep hard. He can't make the play, but a flag comes in. Now let's check the penalty. There's Terrence Newman on the coverage.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 29. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Matt Ryan said about Hardy, because of those strong hands, you can be aggressive throwing it to him. He was there.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that one's on Terrence Newman rather than Xavier Rhodes. It's Terrence Newman. They called the wrong number, but a good call on the illegal contact.
Rhodes has been on Julio Jones pretty much all this game. And that matchup, Rhodes and Jones, continues. Top of your screen. First down. Coleman trying to get to the edge and does so. Cuts it upfield before running out of real estate.
Kevin,
he's going to pick up 5. Sorry,
you talked about those 3 fumbles in the last 30 carries for Tevin Coleman, and you're seeing a guy with 2 hands on those balls. His running back coach, I know him from my time in Denver, Bobby Turner, one of the best. Coach Terrell Davis and all those backs. And losing the ball, loose with the ball, is one thing that Bobby Turner does not go for.
7-3 Vikings, but Atlanta on the move. Got to look at this again. This is awesome. Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL. as they're doing right now. 2 minutes to go, first half from Atlanta. 7-3 Vikings. Each team with all 3 timeouts. On second down, there's Ryan. Rolling for White, just out of the outstretched arms of Roddy White.
It's a good throw, and we've seen that connection so much over the years. Matt Ryan trusting Roddy White. Roddy White runs a very nice route, just can't get there.
Just missed, and so now a 3rd down and 5. It's Jacob Tamme in motion, number 83. 4-man pressure, Ryan. There's White, takes a hit, and he holds on. Roddy White absorbing a big hit from Antone Exum, but it's a first down for Atlanta.
That's what a great pro does. He comes right back after a near miss and catches it, knowing full well he's going to get hit.
Now they hurry it up. Here comes the blitz. Ryan sees it, comes near side, complete to Tamme. So he gets through the blitz, and he's going to pick up 7, and that'll stop the clock with 1:33 to go. They've got plenty of time, all 3 timeouts. One thing to keep in mind, Matt Bryant, their excellent kicker, is injured. So Shane Graham doing the kicking today. Here's White.
Big hit, but hanging on to that football. And Kevin, this is one area over the years where Matt Ryan's been exceptional. At the end of halves, and it's something his old coach Mike Smith used to chart. But winning teams, they put scoring drives together right before the half and at the end of games. Matt Ryan's been excellent at these throughout his career.
2nd and 3. Ryan going over the middle, and it's intercepted. Captain Munnerlyn picks it off. And now Minnesota with 3 timeouts to work with.
And we're seeing what exactly has been ailing these Falcons. Earlier it was Tevin Coleman on the big play. Captain Munnerlyn doesn't go for the stutter. Matt Ryan thinks he's got the throw, throws it behind him. And Captain Munnerlyn comes up with it. A lot of people have been wondering what's up with Matt Ryan. Remember, first year in a new system, but something's amiss. This isn't the guy we're used to seeing.
Well, Matt Ryan now has 14 turnovers on the year, 11 interceptions. Hey, you're right. It's just a shade off for him. We're used to his level of play, which is excellent, and it's just been a hair off. And the turnovers again, that's been the story why the Falcons are 1-5 their last 5 games. Their 2nd turnover today. Now we turn to the Vikings. They're going to give it to McKinnon, and he's up across the 29-yard line. All 3 timeouts for Minnesota. And again, this is the story. First 5 games, they were +5. They were creating turnovers. They weren't giving it away. It's been the opposite the last 5 games. Pretty simple. Bridgewater pressure tipped by Beasley, and it's incomplete. Claiborne got pressure. Beasley knocked it in the air. And now a quick 3rd down. And the Falcons still have all 3 timeouts.
Kevin, you know, one thing you mentioned earlier, only 12 sacks on the year. It's been a problem for the Falcons. But I can say that they affect quarterbacks. They're around them, they hit them. They just haven't quite gotten to the point where they can finish. But Dan Quinn and this defense, by strength in numbers, they do surround quarterbacks and affect them.
Adrian Peterson on the sidelines for 3rd down. McKinnon in the backfield. 3rd and 5. Draw McKinnon, and he surges forward for the first down. Waiting to see if they're calling timeout, and I believe they do, yes. So the Vikings call their first timeout with 48 seconds to go in the half. Let's check out what's going on with Kurt Menefee and the guys.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, this wild bunch and I will have highlights of all the early games for you, including Alex Smith and the Chiefs trying to win their 5th straight game. And then, is that Glazer? What's going on? Find out at halftime.
Get Glazer's stool. Come on, help the man out.
That is beautiful. That's either the best or the worst looking Brady Bunch I've ever seen. That's great. Good job, guys. So Peterson on the sidelines here, but it's not uncommon. Matt Asiata is more their pass catching back, and clearly with 54 seconds left and 2 timeouts, probably in the more pass mode here. From the 37, Beasley comes in, pressure, Bridgewater escapes, throws it, and he's got a completion of Rudolph. That was a lot of work just to get a completion and bring up a 2nd and 10.
Well, Vic Beasley, there's been a lot of heat on him with only 2 sacks. He's their first-round pick. But I tell you, I like what I see out of him. He's got a ways to go, but he does have one thing you can't teach, and that's speed and the ability to turn an edge. I think in the future, this guy is going to be a finisher for the Atlanta Falcons.
Rudolph got out of bounds, so it stops the clock. That's Beasley on there. He takes a breather. Second and 10. 4-man rush. They're going to swing it out to Asiata. Looking for a block. Gets one. And fights forward to the 45. He's going to be 2 yards short of a first down. And the timeout called as Blair Walsh is warming for a long field goal 36 seconds ago, and an injured Falcon as well. It's Nathan Stuper, the backup linebacker. We'll check on the timeout. I thought the Vikings had called a timeout. And so we'll go to commercial and we'll square that away. Meanwhile, Falcons look at Stuper here on the tackle. Vikings have the ball, 36 seconds to go in the half. So 7-3 Vikings, their football, 36 seconds to go in the half. The timeout was charged to the Falcons because of the injury. So each team with 2 timeouts. That's what the quarterbacks have done. Falcons have the momentum, but Ryan just threw a big interception to Captain Mothering. 3rd down and 2. Bridgewater over the middle, Rudolph first down. And I think they would call a timeout here. Will Minnesota? They blow the whistle, and they will. Well, it all comes down to one game for Michigan State and Iowa. The 5th-ranked Spartans and 4th-ranked Hawkeyes will play for the Big Ten Championship and a possible college football playoff berth. Don't miss a second of the action starting Saturday at 7 Eastern, only on Fox. Well, showed you the NFC North. Let's look at the NFC South. Unfortunately for the Falcons, the Panthers are 11-0. But if the season ended today, which obviously it doesn't, Atlanta would be a playoff team.
They got Tampa climbing on their back, and Tampa winning today against Indianapolis. Tampa on the come, and the Falcons better keep winning.
So here we go. Minnesota, 1 timeout left, 28 seconds. Bridgewater back to throw. Pressure from Beasley. Shovels it away to Rudolph. Beautiful play. Beautiful play as he was about to get sacked, and now Rudolph puts him right on the cusp of field goal range and stops the clock with 22 seconds.
Yeah, Blair Walsh is long on the season, 53 yards. This year it's 56, so he's got a big leg. Really nice play, and that's what Bridgewater has. He has the ability to extend plays. I like that he's looking for Rudolph more. He needs to be a bigger part of this offense in my mind, and he has been the last couple of weeks.
See if they get a little closer. Again, they can go anywhere here with 1 timeout. 22 seconds in the half. Coming quickly to the near side where he has a completion to Jarius Wright, who makes the catch. So they're going to mark him, let's see, at the 34. So you're looking at a 52-yard field goal as it stands right now.
They're in range. And here's what impresses you about Teddy Bridgewater, the poise. You know, you can talk about, and I started the open. All I'm talking about is where he needs to go for them to get to that next level and for him to get to that next level. But he's been very, very good, and he's won a lot of games at this stage in his early career.
He sure has. Looked good on this drive. From the 34. Got time. He has time. Asiata makes a juggling catch. Knocked out of bounds by Worlow, and he's going to pick up, let's see, a yard? Yeah, that's a yard with 12 seconds left. Take a shot here, John. You got a timeout. You can do whatever you want with 1 play, as long as it's relatively quick.
I think what you do, you try to, this is certainly in Blair Walsh's field goal range, but I think you try to get a little closer if you're Norv Turner.
Can I back up your argument? Here's why. He's got a big leg, but Walsh's rookie year, he was 10 of 10 from 50 and beyond. He's only 9 of 17 since, so even though he's got a big-time leg, he hasn't been accurate from deep. So they'll play it one more time. Bridgewater pumps. And coming near side, Rudolph. No, incomplete. So it's incomplete. So this will be about a 51-yard field goal try, unless they try another play, which would be kind of crazy. And they're going to send Blair Walsh out to kick it. There you go with those 50-yard attempts. That's a little bit different number than I just spewed, but you get the idea. It hasn't been as strong from deep. Locke, the punter, is the holder. Kevin McDermott, third-year man, snaps. 51-yard field goal to send it to the half. And Walsh, no good. You called them to get closer, they didn't, and Walsh yanks one left, and Minnesota fails to capitalize on the turnover.
Well, missed opportunities, and this is one of them. I mean, this is Blair Walsh. He's got a big leg. We saw early in a career, it paid dividends. Of late, it's been a struggle for him on these longer ones. And Dan Quinn celebrating.
So he misses from 51, and again, that Munnerlyn interception is wasted. And so the Falcons will take a knee. Well, back and forth game, momentum swings, but not many points. Only 7-3 Minnesota. We've got ourselves a good game, a couple of playoff hopefuls here in Atlanta. 7-3 Vikings at the break. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy coming up with the halftime show right now. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan, and there was a lot of it. This game, a lot of hype. Two teams that are hoping to be playoff teams. It's some good action early with a Peterson touchdown, and then we had some turnovers and a missed field goal. But what we have is a close game, 7-3, as we get set to start this second half. That was today's excitement. It was brought to you by Nissan. A lot of excitement for a 7-3 game. That's what we got. I'm excited to be standing next to John Lynch, 9-time Pro Bowl safety, soon to be hopefully Hall of Famer, by the way. And I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So, 7-3, a little surprise at this one, what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I think so. You know, and Atlanta deferred. They get the ball back, but it's unlike you're not used to seeing Matt Ryan not in a rhythm. They're focusing on Julio Jones a lot. I think they need to take Julio downfield because they're really tight contested coverage right now. People can't run with them. Throw the ball downfield. I think that would loosen up everything for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, and you could see here with these numbers, you know, they're not getting Julio Jones, but they're not passing the ball, period. Only 89 yards passing for the Falcons today. They had that good drive for the half, and then the interception kind of killed the momentum there.
And a big part of that is you got to give credit to this Minnesota defense. Third ranked in the league in terms of points allowed, so they don't give up a lot of points.
Here are the stars we told you about. How are they doing? Well, Adrian Peterson, 48 rushing yards, has some receiving yards and a touchdown. Julio Jones has been shut down for the most part. 2 catches, 18 yards. Xavier Rhodes has been on him the majority of the time with some help. So, kickoff out of the end zone, and Matt Ryan and the Falcons will take it over on their own 20. Let's go down the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Hey there, Kevin. Mike Zimmer, he was very disappointed about that missed field goal, but he has high hopes for his other units. Defensively, he feels like they're doing a great job against the run, but he wants more pressure on Matt Ryan. He wants to see him down. Offensively, he feels like the group is moving the ball, but they are not taking advantage of those opportunities. For Dan Quinn, he said it's all about the ball. That's been his motto all week. I asked him if it's hard to stay with Tevin Coleman. He said absolutely not. We're going to stay with him.
Yeah, Pat, he's got no choice with Devontae Freeman out, even though Coleman fumbled earlier, and he gets it here for a minimal game. Well, Dan Quinn told us the other day, and he's one of the most positive people you will ever meet. He said, John, I think we're about to be the hot shooter. We've already clanked some off the rim. So then what was the first step? Was that a missed foul shot, or how would you call it?
They're getting in that zone. You know, they're shooting. And that's what you got to keep doing is keep shooting. It's a no-flinch mentality that Matt Ryan talks about. They're learning. They're getting better, but you can't stop being aggressive.
Locked up for Ryan here, and Julio Jones makes the catch at the 40. We do have a penalty in the secondary, so let's wait and see.
It's generally in the area where you see either an illegal contact or defensive hold.
It's a 19-yard gain to Julio Jones.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 24. Penalties declined. Yardage stands. It's a first down.
And Kevin, this wasn't a deep throw, but this is in that intermediate range, and that's what I think you got to do. You got to take Julio Jones down the field. He has so much speed. People have to respect it, but if you're only throwing short, they don't.
Little shovel. Coleman almost fell. Not much. It's Minnesota defense. And before Mike Zimmer got here a couple years ago, they were last in points allowed. And you see the Falcons offensive leaders today. So last year, Zimmer's first year as coach, they went from last to 11th. This year, his second year coach, they go from 11th to 3rd.
Man can coach, and he can definitely coach some defense.
Roddy White is wide open. He's inside the 40. Tell you, they've had a couple of play fakes that have worked like a charm, and that one picks up 20.
Well, this is old vet against old vet. Roddy White working against the 37-year-old corner, Terrence Newman. He gets a little help by Matt Ryan with the hard play fake. See Terrence Newman having to navigate the traffic, and then Roddy White separates. Matt Ryan on the money, pushing the ball down the field a little bit to open this second half.
4 catches, 40 yards for Roddy White. That matches his season high with catches, and there's going to be a flag there. No, incomplete. I thought, yeah, then the late flag comes in. I thought Toilolo got pushed to the ground.
The flags keep coming. Is the ball in the air? Absolutely it is when Blanton hits him, so that should be pass interference. Remember, outside of the pocket, you can hit a receiver inside of 5 yards, but Matt Ryan begging for it. Clete Blakeman says, hold on, Matt.
Did you see what he said? He said, I'm watching you, Matt. That's up to the other guys. And by the way, they're discussing that right now. That's what a good crew does. It's pretty funny. So, still discussion. Certainly looked like a penalty on Minnesota. Let's see.
Pass interference.
Yep.
Defense, number 36. The ball we placed in the spot of the foul. First down, Atlanta.
It's a good crew, and they've done a nice job today. Got that one right. It's Robert Blanton, by the way, the penalty. So the penalties creeping up on Minnesota. They've got 5 today. Remember, they had 8 last week. They're the least penalized team in the league. The last couple of weeks has been an issue. Falcons on the move. Opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Teron Ward inside the 30. Good looking run. He's down to the 28. And so he's going to pick up 6 yards.
Well, you mentioned Teron Ward, brother of TJ Ward. You know who his cousin is? Maurice Jones-Drew. So something similar running in that family, and that's that short gene, but it helps them in terms of having that low center of gravity running the football. That's one thing Kyle Shanahan said, this kid, he's a tough downhill runner. He bounces off people because of that stature, that short stature.
And now as you saw Coleman back in there now, another rookie. 3rd round pick from Indiana. On 2nd and 4, it's Coleman, and he dances up the middle near a first down. I think he's going to be a little short. Anthony Barr made the tackle.
You know, Kevin, absent, we saw the fumble for Tevin Coleman, but they've been running the football effectively, and he's been running the football effectively, averaging over 6 yards per carry. It's just you got to hold on to it.
John, they're committed today. I mean, they've run the ball 16 times for 93 yards. They've had 17 passing plays, so they're much more run heavy than they normally are. 3rd down and 1. They'll run it here. Coleman, nice job. First down. Did a little dance waiting for the hole, and he found it.
And Kevin, you talk about them being run heavy. A lot of that is because they're playing split safeties. The safeties are back trying to give Xavier Rhodes some help on Julio Jones. Then it becomes a numbers game. You outnumber them in the run game, so the run game makes sense. Once you pull them up, now you go downfield to Julio Jones.
Harrison Smith did not make this trip. Andrew Sendejo, we just showed you, number 34, out with a knee injury. And so it's Exum and Blanton, the 2 backup safeties, getting the action here. 1st and 10, run it again. Coleman, good run. Coleman's getting a little steam here. He picks up 5. He's got 15 carries for 91 yards. Of course, remember, he had a 46-yard run, and then he fumbled at the end of it.
He's got that classic ability to stick the foot in the ground and run down the field. You see the tough hitting by Terrence Newman inside.
That could have been a penalty. No call. 2nd and 5. Julio Jones, the only wideout in this formation. Bottom of your screen, and so they'll run it. Coleman dancing through the middle, makes a move, still on his feet, and he's down to the 1. Tevin Coleman is heating up. He's got a 16-yard run and a 1st and goal.
The adjustment in the second half. Remember, first half it was all outside running. Now they're going right at him. You watch that offensive line work. Here comes the hole. Tevin Coleman presses it, gets inside, and tough running. The Atlanta Falcons offensive line starting to assert themselves.
Meanwhile, Linval Joseph goes out of the game, maybe their best defensive lineman. 1st and goal. Coleman's got it, and he is stuffed, I believe. Yeah. I think Barr was there first. Now, Atlanta has had issues here in the red zone. 6 red zone turnovers, so they've got to be careful with the ball.
You have to earn it against this Minnesota defense. On film, one of the best short yardage and goal line defenses in football. I think a large reason is Anthony Barr in the middle along with Linval Joseph. They're strong up the middle.
No wide receivers in this formation. The pitch. Coleman gets the block, and he's in for 6. Penalty, hang on. Penalty, middle of the field. Hold everything. Vikings saying that's on Atlanta. Hit a great block from Patrick DeMarco, but that may be for nothing. There's DeMarco, made the block, but Blakeman and his crew trying to talk this one out. Here we go.
Personal foul, clipping, offense number 81. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
Wow. Big call.
Remember earlier the Teron Ward penalty down here. Now a 15-yarder. 81 is Moiaki. He's going to be blocking Chad Greenway. I think that's a bad call. I think he's in the front. It appears as if he's in the back, but look at where his head first hits Chad Greenway. That's a very tough call.
Oof. His shoulder landed in the back, and I think that's what the call was. That's a tough one either way. Right or wrong, Falcons take a touchdown off the board. And now a 2nd and goal from just outside the 15. Another flag, and they might be moving back even more. Ryan looking end zone, incomplete. That might be a hold. The Falcons are facing a 2nd and goal from the 25 in a minute. Man, you go from a touchdown and taking the lead. And now let's get the call first.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 92. A 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
It's a bad job on me to speculate. It's on Minnesota.
And it's the 2nd time for Tom Johnson with the hands to the face. In the first half, it was to the other guard, Chris Chester. There's the left hand in Andy Levitra's face. Twice for Tom Johnson. And both teams hurting themselves with penalties.
6th penalty on the Vikings. Again, remember, the least penalized team in the league. So now, it's back to a 1st and goal. Back at the 10. Empty backfield. Ryan, and a drop. That's incomplete. Forward pass. I think one thing about Atlanta, when you get down to this part of the field, and yeah, they've had the turnovers, but they've still been good red zone wise. They're still converting 9th best in the league. But you think about how automatic it used to be a couple years ago when Tony Gonzalez was here, right?
It didn't matter if he was covered. It didn't matter if he was doubled. You just throw it to him, and he'd use that basketball background to box you out. And he's working, doing what we're doing now.
Teron Ward in the game. They go pistol formation here. Something new. On second down, they give to Ward, and he gets blasted. Antone Exum Jr. I want to throw the pistol out of the playbook. Wow.
Antone Exum Jr. doing his best Harrison Smith imitation. This is something you see often from Harrison Smith, the tremendous blitzer. Well, he blitzes. He puts a little stutter on Jacob Tamm. He runs right by him. Exum making a big play in place of Harrison Smith, a big-time player for the Vikings.
I don't believe this offensive sequence will be in the Tom Amansky video going forward. Third and goal. Blitz. Ryan eludes on the run. Throwing. Intercepted! It's intercepted by Terrence Newman. And another red zone turnover kills Atlanta.
Talk about hurting yourself. First it's the penalties, then it's a ball that Matt Ryan simply can't throw. Terrence Newman, the veteran, makes him pay.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. By Burger King. Now get 10 chicken nuggets for $1.49 only at BK. And by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
The Minnesota defense comes up with another big play. Terrence Newman, his third interception of the year. And the Falcons look no further why they've been struggling. 7 red zone turnovers this year with that one. Bad decision by Ryan, and now it's the Vikings back on offense, and Peterson against his #1 run D struggles for a yard.
And look, Matt Ryan knows better than this, and especially Terrence Newman, this guy right here, that's his 40th career interception. So it's not like he hasn't done this before. He sees some open space, but a guy like Terrence Newman, an old vet, he's playing you. He's baiting you into that. That's exactly what he did. And you talk about turnovers, we just documented they're catastrophic turnovers because of where they're happening for the Atlanta Falcons.
That's some good drives, Atlanta, but they have really, either with turnover or the penalties, really hurt themselves down inside the 25-yard line. So here's Bridgewater all day to throw it. Finally does, and that is incomplete. And now we get a flag. Jalen Collins was there on coverage.
Talk about holding on to the ball. It's going to be a penalty.
Pass interference, defense, number 32. The ball we placed at the spot of foul. First down, Minnesota.
They're going to take Jalen Collins off, but look at the reaction's all right. He makes a tremendous reaction. Now go intercept the football. Jalen Collins did the hard part. He diagnosed it, a great diagnosis, but you have to be able to finish the play. He's playing a tough position as a rookie, but he has been exposed of late. A large part of it is playing the football in the air.
24-yard penalty. They'll run it. Peterson pushes through the tackle of O'Brien Schofield, and Peterson's got 4. Game break time. Let's go to Mike Hill.
Bengals look like they're on the way to ending that 2-game slide against the Rams. Andy Dalton to A.J. Green, who goes up and gets it in the end zone. 18 yards, gets them 6. 24-7 Bengals in the third. Kevin, John, back to you.
Rams just a tease at this point of the year. You know, they thought they had higher hopes, but it's just not coming together. Meanwhile, thanks, Mike. How about Washington 17, the Giants nothing? That's a huge game. This big here, too. A couple teams right now in the playoff picture. Peterson, good stutter. Jeez, he's a yard and a half shy of a first down.
Well, I've been here before, and I'm laughing, so I'm not laughing at you, Robert Alford, because I've experienced it. But watch Alford on the outside. He's going to pop in your picture. He's waiting outside. AP says, no, I'm going inside. It is so hard to play against this guy. So reminiscent of Barry Sanders. You see him hop out, you go in. It's just sometimes not a fair fight, and it's oftentimes with Adrian Peterson.
Third down and 1. Peterson cuts left, has room. Adrian Peterson all the way inside the 30. And he's going to pick up 16 and a Viking first down.
It's all on display right now for Adrian Peterson. The power, the elusiveness, the lateral, the jump cut. You see him, the vision, and then the finish ability. He's got it all, and that's why he will go down as one of the great players ever to play this game. Adrian Peterson putting his talents on full display.
5 100-yard games this year. Peterson up to 74 rushing and a touchdown here. And he's getting stronger as the game goes on. I'll first give it to him again. And he's up the middle. Down to about 26. So Adrian Peterson, 4 straight games with a rushing touchdown. First time since 2012. He passed O.J. Simpson and Corey Dillon. 19th most rushing yards all time. He did that here today with his 78 yards on the ground.
You know, Kevin, one thing I've always respected about Norv Turner, the great play callers, it seems simple, but when something's working, keep doing it. Right now, Adrian Peterson is killing these guys. Keep handing it to him. Norv Turner does that as well as anybody in this league.
And they give it to him again. Peterson trying to get to the edge this time. He rolls through a couple of Falcons, and he is close to a first down. He's delivering the punishment, John.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, everyone's so conscious of staying outside because he can bounce it on you, but look at the finish. And Norv Turner, I mentioned, Norv Turner knows how to do this. As a coordinator, as a coach, he's coached some of the best. These are all the guys. Emmitt Smith, the all-time leading rusher. LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, Eric Dickerson. Look at that list. Those are all guys that Norv Turner has coached.
Unbelievable. From the 19, give it to him again. Nice cut inside and a spin, and he's got no gain.
And when you look at that list, Kevin, you know, we talked to Norv, and he was reluctant because all these guys are great players, Hall of Fame players,
sure,
to say who's the best. But he said, without doubt, Adrian Peterson is the best combination. He's got the power of a Ricky Williams, the speed of an Eric Dickerson, the vision of an Emmitt Smith. I mean, he's kind of, you put all those guys together, and you got Adrian Peterson.
Norv Turner's been doing this and doing it well an awful long time. 2nd and 10, Peterson gets a rest. They bring in McKinnon in the backfield. And they go over the middle, and they've got themselves a completion to Stephon Diggs. So Adrian Peterson, if he does go on and win a rushing title, which is certainly possible, he's leading the league right now. The oldest guys to do it, Curtis Martin, 2004 with the Jets. Marion Motley in 1950. And then Charles White, 87 with the Rams. And then, of course, Jim Brown, his final year in 65. Adrian Peterson trying to get on that list. He leads the league right now at 30 years old. And he's been on fire here today. Matt Asiata in on 3rd down. They'll carry to him up the middle. And he's not going to have enough for a first down. So Peterson did all the work, but took him out to get a breather, and they end up stalling the drive.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. I think right now they feel comfortable with the way their defense is playing, but I'm telling you, to win the division, you got to play to win.
Yeah.
And that 3rd down, I think you got to try to get the 3rd down. Not that they weren't, but put some trust in Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, they didn't. Peterson had 37 yards on the drive, and now Blair Walsh, who missed a 51-yarder, will try a 29-yarder. Put the Vikings up 10-3, and this one he's got. So Minnesota goes upset by 7 here in the 3rd. Well, the Adrian Peterson drive, but then they took him out to give him a breather because he had worked so hard, and they end up stalling. Got a little conservative at the end of that drive. They do kick a field goal to go up 7, but if you're the Falcons, you got to feel good. I mean, they've had a couple big turnovers here, and Minnesota's only been able to turn it into a total of 3 points.
I think you let him off the hook. Adrian Peterson was running right through you, and then on 3rd and 4, you give it to Matt Asiata. Good player, but
I get it, not Adrian Peterson. And so now that Peterson has done his work, Julio Jones, he's been relatively quiet today. 3 catches, 37 yards. Peterson and Jones, 2 of the game stars. Is it Julio's turn to shine? We're back from Atlanta.
Today's game is sponsored by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
I think that was a toast in the Nordsman, John, there. Not sure. Tight game here in Atlanta. 10-3 Vikings. Falcons have had a couple big turnovers. Red zone has been their faltering today, but Ryan goes over the middle. That's probably a good decision, looking to get some offense going into triple coverage to Julio Jones, who makes the catch for a 14-yard gain.
Well, like you said, sometimes it just doesn't matter. Throw it to 11 and good things will happen. Doesn't matter how many are covering.
Trying to get Jones going. Vikings have helped with coverage. Rhodes has been on a lot. Julio now 4 catches, 52 yards. Kyle Shanahan, their offensive coordinator right there, made no bones about it. They asked about getting other guys involved. Yeah, the first read's Julio Jones. And by the way, you can't blame him. First down. Here's Coleman. And Coleman's going to pick up 3. So, John, the red zone turnovers continue to play Atlanta today. Same story, but this is all year here, a story for Matt Ryan, too.
Well, it's the team, and it's Matt Ryan specifically now leading the league. We just showed the graphic. Coming into today 4, we just saw him throw his 5th, not throw his 5th. He's had 5 red zone turnovers. So turnovers kill your team, particularly when they happen down near the end zone like this one to Terrence Newman.
That all being said, they're only down a touchdown here as we get to the waning seconds of the third quarter. Fake to Coleman. Another good play fake. Ryan looking, going deep for White, incomplete. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, we asked Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer what he sees with Matt Ryan's red zone issues. Zimmer answered by telling us the Falcons quarterback has struggled when his first read isn't there, and he has to go further down the progression. Well, today, all that Vikings pressure and that very good coverage hasn't helped Matt Ryan's life either.
Yeah, excellent point, Pam.
It's a good point by Zimmer and a good catch by Pam, because that was not his first read. He wanted someone else. He tried to escape, and that's when all these turnovers, that's been the common thread.
And so now a 3rd down and 7. 4-man rush. Griffin coming. Ryan in trouble. Goodbye. Everson Griffin throws him down like a rag doll. And it's 4th down.
Well, Everson Griffin, he's a legitimate pass rush threat. 6.5 sacks coming into today, working against Jake Matthews. Beats him with power, and then lassos Matt Ryan down to the ground.
And in the third quarter, it's 10-3. Minnesota on top, and they'll get the ball. So, Vikings defense holds 3 and out. As we start the 4th quarter, Minnesota will get the ball. We've got 2 returners here, Marcus Sherrill and Stephon Diggs. Bosher will punt it away. Booming kick. Sherrills will take it. And he doesn't go anywhere. Good coverage. Hardy was down there first, and then Schofield. The Falcons cover it well after a good punt. So now Teddy Bridgewater trying to get this offense clicking after a 53-yard punt by Bosher.
During the kick, holding 59 of the receiving team. A 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
That'll move it back. Matt Ryan has calmed down here, but he was showing some frustration after that last series. Trying to figure it out with Kyle Shanahan. We're in the 4th quarter in Atlanta.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Lowe's. Hurry in today for great winter savings. And by the all-new LG V10. Capture the in-between moments.
Well, you take a look. What a great play by Justin Hardy. Diggs wants to take the reverse. Justin Hardy beats him to it. I'm surprised Sherrills didn't hand it to Hardy, because that's just a tremendous play by Justin Hardy, ruining the return for the Vikings.
After the punt and the penalty, Minnesota backed up here, nursing a 7-point lead. There's Peterson up the middle, and maybe a yard, not much. Well, the passing game has not been a factor today for either team. Vikings have 135 yards passing, which you can expect with their running game. Atlanta only has 130. Actually, this game is pretty even. The difference is that Falcons have 2 red zone turnovers. That's the difference. right now. Adrian Peterson, 20 carries, 86 yards. In the I formation now, he'll get it right up the middle. It's Peterson. Out to the 30. 16-yard run for AP.
Well, credit this offensive line because they're opening the holes. But Adrian Peterson, my goodness, watch him run right through the tackle attempt by Paul Warlow, one of the better tacklers in this league, mind you. But he's got no chance. Arm tackles will not cut it versus Adrian Peterson. You better put a body on him. Adrian Peterson, he gets better as the game goes on.
103 yards now. Before that run, he had 67 yards after first contact. So it's hard to bring him down. Why not keep feeding him? Jump step here, but William Moore up to the task after a gain of 1. Here's the thing about Peterson. He wears you down. He just gets better and better as the game goes on. That's what's a little unusual about him. John, you talked about the combination of speed and size. Look at this. His rushing average in the first quarter and the second quarter is pedestrian. And then it goes to 5.5 yards, and then it goes to 8.1 in the fourth quarter.
There's so many ways to illustrate it. Another one I saw this week, carries 21 on, 7 yards per carry. I mean, he just gets better as the game goes on.
There's Rudolph on a quick hitter out across the 35. Let's get a game break with Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Indianapolis Colts are perfect with Matthew Hasselbeck as their quarterback. 3-0 on the season. Trying to make it 4-0. He hooks up with T.Y. Hilton on a 19-yard score. And they lead a close one with the Bucs, 16-12. Kevin, John, and Pam.
Kurt, who needs Andrew Luck? Hasselbeck's undefeated.
He just keeps making himself money. He goes plays like this. He's not going to be in the booth for another 5 years.
He's going to delay that TV career. 3rd down and 4. It's Matt Asiata lined up top of your screen as a wide receiver, the running back. Blitz. Bridgewater over the middle, and Jarius Wright has it. And it's a first down. 8-yard pickup to move the chains.
A great poise by Teddy Bridgewater. Standing tall in the pocket. And then the crosser. Beautiful call by Norv Turner. He senses the man coverage. Great way to beat man coverage are those shallow crosses. And Jarius Wright beats Jalen Collins for the big 3rd down conversion.
That's a touchdown lead for the Vikings. Trying to add to that. With a little over 11 minutes to go in this game from Atlanta. Peterson looking for a seam, not much. Now remember, Peterson doing this against, as they finally try to stop this play, Peterson doing this against Falcons team that came into this game as the #1 rushing defense in the league. And John, you know, some people say, well, that's because everyone throws the ball against the Falcons, but they've stopped some really good backs.
Oh, I mean, some of the top ones in this league, and they've been very effective. And when you say stopped, I mean, you mean completely stopped. Right. Early in this year, DeMarco Murray, last year's NFL rushing leader, 12 yards on him. I mean, they've completely neutralized rushing attacks, so it's even more impressive what Adrian Peterson's doing.
Fake it to him here. Bridgewater looking, has the tight end Rudolph again. And Rudolph's going to be out 2 yards shy of a first down. So after a career game last week where Kyle Rudolph had 6 for 106, oh, he's got 7 for 53 today. He's turning into the outlet for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, and we've seen it so many times over the years. You think back to Norv Turner at the Dallas Cowboys, run it with Emmett, and then you throw it to Jay Novacek. A tight end becomes so much better in the play-action pass game, but you have to first get the run game going.
And another big 3rd down. They clock at 1, and they call a timeout. Bridgewater saw it. They spend a timeout to prevent the penalty. We'll break. Big 3rd down coming up. NFL Play 60. The NFL is moving for a more active generation, encouraging fans to get up and play for 60 minutes every day. Download the NFL Play 60 app. Huge 3rd down for Minnesota. Up by 7. 9:51 to play. 3rd and 2. They're going to run it. Peterson breaks through, and he's got the first down and still going till they finally wrestle him down to the ground at the 37. It's a pickup of 11.
Well, I'm sorry, Matt Asiata, but I like this option a little more. Adrian Peterson, one of the all-time best. They've got him dead to rights in the backfield, but I'm telling you, arm tackles will not do it. You better get your body and your chest on him.
We get a flag here. Now Peterson is, as we showed you that graphic, has continued to get better in this 3rd and 4th quarter. He's now at 116 yards.
Prior to the snap, Atlanta calls its first time out of the half.
So there you go. Timeout Falcons, timeout for Fox. Minnesota on the march after Adrian Peterson continues the drive.
Today's game is sponsored by Cricket Wireless, the Merrier carrier.
Ninth play of the drive. 9:25 to go in the game. Vikings on the move, up 7 in Atlanta. Just going to keep giving it to Adrian Peterson. Why not? Gains 2 that time, and now you're getting closer to field goal range, trying to make this a 2-score game. 4th quarter rushing, Peterson is better than everyone with an 8.1 average.
You know what's interesting, in talking to Norv Turner, you saw that list. Hall of Fame runners all over it. He's been around the best. The number one trait, the commonality, it's just that will, the competitiveness. They refuse to go down. If you don't block it, they still get yards.
They fake this time. Pressure. Bridgewater's going to throw it to Peterson. Good stutter step. And he moves forward for a first down. It's the Adrian Peterson show, and it's playing in Atlanta right now.
You fake it to him. You throw it to him. You get the ball in his hands, good things happen. You see those eyes. Is it going to bring the linebackers up? Absolutely. Then they retreat. You throw it right underneath them. Bridgewater, a smart man to get it in 28's hands.
Peterson 118 rushing, 29 receiving. Also has a running touchdown. He's got to be a little tired. But he's not coming out of this one. 11th play of the drive. Getting down to the 8-minute mark left in the game, and obviously in field goal range now. Wheeler on the tackle. Peterson no gain.
You know, Kevin, I got on the Vikings earlier for playing conservative on these 3rd downs, but the way their defense has been playing, you can understand Mike Zimmer trying just to protect the football. But my point is, to beat the top teams in the league, I think you're going to have to put some trust in number 5 and these receivers, guys like Stephon Diggs and Mike Wallace.
No, understood. They haven't needed it yet so far. 2nd and 10. Bridgewater's going to throw it. Rolls away from trouble. Now he's going to get rid of it. Incomplete. It was behind Zach Line, the fullback. And so now a 3rd and long coming up. So you talked about being conservative. 3rd and 10. You're up 7. You're well within field goal range to make it a 2-score game. Do you stay that around here?
Well, you know, I think the points here make it a 2-score game.
Yeah.
And so I think this time's a little different. So I can understand, but I still would, I think what Teddy Bridgewater has shown is that he's a poised guy. He's not going to make the huge mistake on a consistent basis. So I think trust him to make a good decision. If it's not there, throw it away.
Much better on 3rd down today, but this penalty that comes in, and that's going to move him back.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And keep in mind that Blair Walsh has missed a 51-yard field goal today. So now you're right around the borderline of, despite his strong leg, this is not a gimme. There is Walsh. So a 3rd and 15. Adrian Peterson not on here. Four-man rush. Bridgewater in trouble, gets it away. Asiata has it. Steaming forward inside the 25. And that's a big gain just to make this a comfortable field goal try for Wall.
Yeah, those are big and valuable yards, and that's a really good decision by Teddy Bridgewater. Get it to Asiata, let him get those yards. It really helps out Blair Walsh.
Clock continues to tick. Each team with 2 timeouts. This will be a 39-yard try. Walsh has been very good from short range. He's got a 29-yarder. He's missed a 51-yarder. And that one is good. Good enough for Walsh to make it a 2-score game for these Vikings with 6:24 to play as they try to pick up their 8th win. The first place Vikings up 13-3. Scott Turner, the quarterback's coach for Minnesota, sitting with Teddy Bridgewater. That's a heck of a drive to make it a 2-score game. And 8:26 off the clock. Their longest scoring drive of the season. I mean, you talk about efficient. You go up by 2 scores, and now you melt the clock down to 6:24 left. Falcons with 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning to stop the clock going forward. There's Weems. First time they're taking a kickoff out, and Weems takes it out pretty well. Still going all the way out near the 40. Boy, do they need that. Mark him down, I believe, at the 39-yard line, but a big return from Eric Weems. And the Falcons will have a good start to this drive, but they're down 10. Matt Ryan says, let's go, boys. Well, possessions, here's the deal. Falcons have had the ball 8 times. They've had 1 kneel down at the end of the half, 3 turnovers. Here's the story of the game. 13-3 Vikings. Falcons have their work cut out for them with 6:17 to go. 2 timeouts. Ryan stands in, gonna go deep for Coleman. He's open, and he dropped it.
He dropped it, but a great play by Anthony Barr, who I think's on the verge of becoming a great player in this league. Excuse me, though. That's a ball that Coleman's got to make. Now, he does finish it at the end, but Coleman's got to bring that ball in. But Anthony Barr continuing to play. This is a guy who's a huge presence in the middle, now showing that on the perimeter, he's very talented as well.
They've got some young guys in this team that are on the verge of becoming flat-out stars in this league. 2nd and 10, Teron Ward in the game at bat. Ryan, a jump pass to Julio Jones, and Captain Munnerlyn wrestles him to the ground. Nicely done. The clock continues to run in the 3rd down.
They've done a tremendous job keeping Julio Jones in check. This is a guy, Julio Jones, who's on a record-setting pace coming into today. Right now he stands at 5 catches for 56 yards. Tremendous tackling by Captain Munnerlyn and his defense.
Falcons like to go up tempo. They're huddling here, but time is just burning off this clock. 5.5 to go. They need 2 scores. Like show blitz, they back off it. Ryan near side. Is that a catch? It's a catch, but it's not even a first down, and the time is ticking.
You're right, Kevin. I mean, took him 35 seconds to get that play off to wind up a yard short of the first down.
Time continues to run. What's Atlanta doing right now? They're huddling, and they're under 5 minutes to go. They need 2 scores here.
It's not a bad time to take a shot to Julio Jones. One-on-one coverage up top against Xavier Rhodes.
4th down. Ryan drilled. Ball is loose on the ground. Vikings will take over on downs. Anthony Barr again.
And that's why I'm saying that this young man is going to be a star. It might be helpful to block them. They don't, and Anthony Barr makes them pay. He is a game-changing player, a huge presence in the middle of the field for the Minnesota Vikings. The strip sack by Anthony Barr.
I thought it was interesting when we were talking with Anthony Barr yesterday. One of his idols, the guy you know darn well, Derek Brooks. He says he's never met him, John. I don't know. Maybe you could hook that up.
We're going to have to make that connection because that's about respecting the game, and that's why he's wearing that number 55. And he couldn't have picked a better idol than Derek Brooks.
This Vikings defense is really developing into something else. Came in third in the league in scoring, and they've held Atlanta to 3 points, and now looking to try and finish this game with Adrian Peterson.
Using their timeouts right away. Dan Quinn calls a timeout.
Time a factor. Vikings up 10 with the D bringing it all day. Been a frustrating day for Julio Jones. Talking with Devin Hester on the sideline here. Not just Julio Jones, his entire Falcon offense. Why? Because Minnesota's defense is developing into a monster. I mean, that's not the only story. They've moved the ball at times. Turnovers have killed Atlanta. And now Vikings trying to salt it away with Adrian Peterson. Not that time. Third down coming. The Falcons call their final timeout, and they will. Saturday, 2 of college basketball's biggest rivals face off on Fox. Syracuse takes on Georgetown in a game that'll be filled with emotion, intensity, and passion. It all begins Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, only on Fox. Still can't believe that's not a Big East matchup, but whatever. So how's the playoff picture looking right now? Why don't we show it to you? Here's the deal. Panthers obviously are 11-0. Cardinals playing great. They play later. Vikings in the division lead, trying to go at 8-3 and take that game-and-a-half lead over Green Bay. Giants getting shut out at Washington 20-0. So the NFC East is about to change drastically. There'll be a tie there. And the Packers and Vikings sitting on that wild card. Peterson, left side. Peterson still going. Touchdown.
We talked about him, Adrian Peterson, how he gets stronger as the game goes on. He's so well conditioned. He's so strong. He's got so much will. As the game goes on, he wears a defense out. That's what he's done to this Atlanta Falcons defense, who, again, I'll go back and tell you, was #1 rated in stopping the rush today. That's a different beast right there in Adrian Peterson.
His 99th career touchdown, 158 yards on the ground for the great Adrian Peterson. My goodness. Walsh, extra point. 20-3 Vikings with 4:15 to go, and the Falcons out of timeouts.
Well, they tried it inside. It wasn't working. Atlanta was getting more stout. You got to give a lot of credit to Matt Khalil. This is a much maligned offensive line. They struggled mightily versus the Green Bay Packers. Like I said earlier, how do you help those guys out? You run the football, and that's what they've done all day long, and they just put the dagger in the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm not going to go out on any kind of crazy limb and say that Teddy Bridgewater is Russell Wilson, because he's not yet, right? This Viking team, they host Seattle next week. We'll be there for the call, and I have to tell you, they resemble Seattle for the last couple of years in a lot of ways.
They do very much so. Playing great defense, controlling the football, a quarterback who can make enough plays, and I think that's going to be the big challenge. Can he, when they face the great defenses, can he make enough plays if someone's dedicating full resources to stop Adrian Peterson? No easy schedule, though. You talked about Seattle next week, at Arizona on Thursday the following week, so they've got a tough road ahead of them.
The Vikings finish the year at Green Bay, so you just kind of have a feeling that'll be for the division. But we'll see. Let's have a game break check with Kurt Menefee.
Well, Kansas City trying to win its 5th straight game. Buffalo trying to prevent that. LaShawn McCoy from Tyrod Taylor, a little 10-yard score. They missed the 2-point conversion, but right now it's a 27-22 Chiefs lead in the 4th. Kevin, John, and Pam.
Kansas City, pretty stunning turnaround. I know you saw those guys in London, John, and a couple of us were on baseball today, but turn their season around here.
Andy Reid's done a whale of a job. Jamal Charles goes out and you think season over. Instead, they've turned it on, playing great football.
Falcons out of timeouts. 4:15 to go. They're down 17. One-man rush. Ryan runs into his own man. Is Roddy White. And White up to the 27 now, season high in catches for Roddy White with his 5th. This Falcon offense, they had their chances earlier. 2 red zone turnovers, interceptions by Captain Motherland and Terrence Newman. And then Minnesota imposing their will with the running game of Adrian Peterson. That's Jacob Tamme with the catch.
You're absolutely right. They had their opportunities. Remember early, Tevin Coleman looks like he's going for a touchdown. The end result, a fumble down the field with a great hustle play by Anthony Barr.
Ryan to throw it over the middle. And he's going to go back the route of Tamme again. Another first down. There's 3:26 and counting. Minnesota D, which came in 3rd in the league overall, allowing just over 18 points a game. And Jacob Tamme has another one. You know, it's funny, all game long, Falcons, everything, even when they're moving was a struggle. Now they're going right down the field, but certainly looks like it could be too little too late. Under 3 minutes to go.
Well, Minnesota softens up in this instance, just trying not to get beat over the top. And that makes it look a little easier, but this is where the Falcons need to get.
Roddy White. Vikings happy just to waste clock right now, which is what they're doing. They can't stop it with the exception of the 2-minute warning. The Falcons, that is. But they move it down to a 1st and goal. Ryan flushed out, throws on the run, and down inside the 5. It's Teron Ward.
And Kevin, you know, it's a misnomer to think you're hearing about, everyone's hearing about Matt Ryan's struggles with the interceptions. He's making a lot of plays this year as well. And Kyle Shanahan, this offense has been good. It's just of late the turnovers are killing all the good things that they're doing.
Ward on the carry, tackle short of the goal, and that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. It's where the turnovers are, right? That's the thing. Yeah, they're turning the ball over, but it's where they are. And this Viking team trying to go to 8-3. Teddy Bridgewater feeling good, and why not? 2 minutes to go. 20-3 Vikings. Falcons trying to punch it in the end zone here. No timeouts left for them. Here's Ward going to run it, and he's not going to run it very far. This Viking defense still playing. 4th and goal.
They make you earn it. They did this earlier, and remember the penalty, the 15-yard penalty on the clip, and it turned in. But they make you earn everything, and they will fight you till the end.
So 4th and goal coming up. Ryan end zone. Incomplete, penalty flag, though, so hang on. Looking for Jacob Tamme. Antone Exum, the safety on the coverage.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 32. Penalties half the distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
You see Exum right there on Jacob Tamme. Enough of a hold to warrant a call, but I think you got to say Exum and Robert Blanton have done a tremendous job. Harrison Smith, maybe your best defensive player, and then Sendejo, your other starter, come out, and these guys come in and do a nice job.
Yeah, they really have. Vikings are hoping that Harrison Smith can be back next week. He did practice on a limited basis. Sendejo looks like he's all right. And we have an injured player here, Anthony Barr. Certainly looks okay there, so hopefully he is.
Been playing through that broken hand. We talked to him. He told us it's feeling better, but having been there before, you play and you ding that thing, and it hurts like a son of a gun.
He's played well tonight. 1st and goal. 1:33 to go. Julio Jones, that's him in motion. Fake the pitch to Jones. Looking for Nick Williams, and he's got a touchdown. The Falcons finally on the board. Ryan to Nick Williams with the score.
Julio Jones like a magnet there. You bring him in motion and fake the toss, and the entire defense goes to him. They slip. Nick Williams, nice design by Kyle Shanahan. Watch the defense's reaction. Where's Julio going? We're all going there, and then they slip 15 Nick Williams out to the flat.
Here's the extra points. Shane Graham will do the kicking, just signed this week, and doinks it home. 10-point leads. For the Vikings, 1:28 to go, and Atlanta can't stop the clock. This January, the celebration begins. We kick off the farewell season of American Idol, the show that made so many superstars, from Kelly to Carrie to Philip, ready to discover an idol one last time. Don't miss the farewell season, premiering Wednesday, January 6th, and it's only on Fox. Adrian Peterson, let's compare to his MVP year in 2012, where he finished with 2,097 rushing yards, 8 off Eric Dickerson's all-time record. Now, the average is insane, but I got to tell you, he's not that far behind.
Not far off, and the way he's running, it looks like he's getting better as the season goes on.
How about his yards today, John? 158 total on the ground, 118 after the first hit. 118!
You see him, he makes hay in the run game. He does a lot in the pass game as well as a receiver. Like I said earlier, throughout the game, arm tackles aren't going to work. He can beat you with his speed. He can beat you with his power, quickness, vision. He can do it all. That's what makes him so tough to stop.
I told you about the Vikings schedule upcoming. Atlanta's schedule, they have what's, well, every game's going to be big now. They try the onside kick, but Adam Thielen recovers it. That's that. And Minnesota will run out the clock, but Zimmer takes the headset off. They've got a huge game now against the Bucs, who are trailing in Indianapolis. See the score there. We'll take you to bonus coverage, but that'll be a big game really for one of these teams to try and keep their playoff hopes alive at this point. So Indy winning, Houston won. They beat the Saints. Washington 20-7 over the Giants midway through the fourth quarter. Those are some of the updates going on right now around the league. We got bonus coverage coming in a minute 27. Minnesota about to win their 4th consecutive road game, and we'll go back home. Looking forward to going there, John. We haven't been there, and our folks, our friends with the Vikings say, yeah, it's 14 out, so get the warm weather. Hey, by the way, want to send our best wishes to our video engineer, Diana Caputo. She was in a car accident this morning. Car got hit by a deer. We're told she's okay, back in Pittsburgh, and look, we can't do this thing without her, so she will be back with us in Minnesota. Diana, bring your ski hat.
Get well, Diana.
Miss you. Dan Quinn is trying to figure this thing out. Falcons now 1-5 their last 6. Today's game produced by Pete Macheska, directed by Artie Kepner. Associate Director Eric Mandia, Broadcast Associate Tyler Dare. TD is Clyde Taylor. Our technical producer is Clyde. Technical Director Tom Maslach. Jeff Nelson on stats. Mitch Smith, our spotter.
Tape producer Nick Franklin.
You just give him a new job? Pete's excited. Pete ready to go. His flight has been delayed till 3 in the morning tonight. I can thank Brian Dwyer for all his work on stats as well today. All right, Vikings 20, Falcons 10. Minnesota in first place at 8-3, and the Falcons dropped to 6-5, unable to stop their skid. The Vikings, coming off that loss to Green Bay, get back on equal footing, and they are a first place team. Back from Atlanta in a moment. Vikings win it by 10 behind Adrian Peterson.